A very happy morning to all of you, dear students. How are you all? I hope and I pray that you all are doing great with your health. Children, welcome to the science class. You all know that we are on the chapter number 8, that's reproduction and adolescence. In our previous class, we have defined reproduction, then modes of reproduction, that's asexual and sexual reproduction. Under asexual reproduction, we studied about binary fission and budding. Whereas in sexual reproduction, we studied about the types of fertilization and viviparous and oviparous animals. So these were the topics that were covered in the last class. Now, before we start with our today's class, children, I would like to emphasize that the topics we will study in this chapter are very much related to our body. So as in our 6th and 7th class, we have studied about circulatory system, digestive system, respiratory system to better understand how our body works. Similarly, this chapter also is in relation to understand how a human reproductive system works. So I can say that we all are educated and we need to understand how our body works, right? Or else when we grow up, we will have multiple questions in our mind and there will be nobody to answer until and unless we are comfortable with someone to approach regarding the topics. Yes? So let us go ahead and better understand our reproductive system. The first topic that we have for today is sexual reproduction in humans. As in the previous class, we have studied that in humans, male and female gametes are produced by two different individuals. In sexual reproduction, male and female partners both take part and they produce zygote, right? The male gamete produces the sperm and the female gamete produces the ovum or egg. So the reproductive system in male and females are different. We will go ahead and study one by one of both of them, starting with the male reproductive organs. The male reproductive organs, children, is basically made up of three important parts. That's testes, sperm ducts and penis. Yes, so starting with the testes occur in pair. So a pair of testes are enclosed in a sac-like structure called as scrotal sac or just scrotum. And in the testes, millions of sperms are produced. Then we have the second reproductive organ, sperm duct. There are two sperm ducts present in the male reproductive organ. Now one from each testes, the sperms from these testes leave through the sperm ducts and reach the penis. The last reproductive part, penis, here the sperms are injected into the body of the female through this structure called as penis. So these are the three important reproductive parts in male reproductive organs in humans. Now, what is the male gamete produced by male reproductive organs? That is sperm, right? So, regarding the structure of a sperm is very small in size, children. If we compare the sperm size of the sperm to an ovum, that's the female gamete, the sperm is much smaller than the ovum. It is a single-celled part and it consists of, or it is made up of three parts, that is a head, middle piece and a long tail. The head consists of the nucleus followed by the middle piece and long tail. This tail helps the sperm in movement and allows it to reach the egg cell. The middle piece connects the tail and the head. So this is the basic structure of a sperm. Moving on to the female reproductive organs, children. The female reproductive organs are made up of ovaries, oviducts, uterus and vagina. Alright, so here we'll go ahead and study one by one. Starting with the ovaries. Ovaries occur in pair. A pair of ovaries produce egg or ovum. As mentioned earlier, the egg is much bigger in size in comparison to the sperm. In females, a single egg is produced by one of the ovaries every month. So in every 4 weeks, one egg is produced. Second part of the female reproductive organ is oviducts, which are also called as fallopian tubes. A pair of oviducts are present in the female reproductive organ. Now, oviduct is a muscular tube which joins the ovary with the uterus. It thus carries the eggs from the ovary to the uterus. So, what is the function of fallopian tubes? Fallopian tube carry the egg produced by the ovary to the uterus. The third female reproductive organ is uterus, which is also called as womb. A uterus is the place where the development of the fertilized egg takes place, and it is the place where the fetus develops. Yes, so what is a fetus, children? A fetus is a young human being or an animal before birth. Before the birth, the developing embryo is called as fetus. Coming to the fourth female reproductive organ, vagina. It is present in the uterus opening, and the uterus opens into the muscular tube called as vagina. So that is about the female reproductive organ. The female gamete is also called as ovum or egg. So we will go ahead and study about the structure of an egg. An egg, like the sperm, is again a single cell structure. It is spherical in shape, as you can see here. It contains large quantity of food to provide nutrition to the developing embryo until it starts receiving nutrition from the mother. So that is about the structure of the human egg. You can see a nucleus present there and the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm consists of the nutrient of the food, like nutrient that are present in the cytoplasm that nourish the developing embryo. So that's about the structure of an egg. The next topic that we have is fertilization. We have studied about the male and female reproductive organs, the gametes they produce. Now, when the gametes go ahead and fuse with each other, this process is called as fertilization, right? हमने last class में पढ़ा था that fusion of the sperm and the egg is called as fertilization. Do you all remember how many types of fertilizations are there? Yes. Fertilization is of two types, that's internal fertilization and external fertilization. In human beings, what kind of fertilization do we see? Is it internal or external? In human beings, there is internal fertilization seen. That's because fertilization takes place inside the female body, right? So we'll go ahead and see how does the fertilization happens. During this process, children, the nuclei of the sperm that was present in the head part of the sperm, it fuses with the egg. Both the nuclei fuse to form a single nucleus. And what is this one single nucleus so formed by the fusion called as? It is called as zygote, or it is also said to be a fertilized egg. A zygote is the first cell of a new individual. You can see here in the diagram, the sperm comes and fuses with the nuclei of the egg and forms the zygote. Now, after the zygote formation, development of the embryo takes place. The zygote undergoes multiple division. Now children, the complete process of this fertilization till now, where the egg and sperm fuse with each other to form zygote, takes place in oviduct or the fallopian tubes, right? So this stage, when the sperm fertilizes with the egg, the period from fertilization to the birth denotes the period of pregnancy, and it lasts for about 9 months in humans. Now, during the development of the zygote, the fertilized egg moves from the oviduct to the uterus, and it gets attached to the uterus wall. Now, this is what is embryo development or development of embryo. The zygote, so under its development, is called as embryo. Now, if we see the diagram or the picture here, the fertilized egg fuses with the sperm. It forms one zygote which undergoes multiple division and increases in the number of cells, right? So there's a new structure formed called as placenta, which grows at the place where the developing embryo fixes to the uterus wall. यूट्रस वॉल में ही प्लाजेंटा डेवलप होता है. Now what is placenta actually? The main function of the placenta is to provide nourishment to the growing embryo. It provides oxygen and food to the growing fetus and disposes or gives off the waste of the fetal waste via the mother's kidney. Alright, so the placenta provides nourishment in the uterus to the growing fetus. By 8 weeks, all the major organs such as hands, legs, head, eyes, ears, etc. are formed in the embryo because of the multiple divisions that the embryo is going on. The different parts, body organs are formed. Now, embryo at this stage, when most of the body parts can be identified, is called as fetus. By the 16th week, children, all the organs are formed and the mother starts feeling the kicks of the fetus after about 16 weeks. And after 36 weeks of development of the embryo, the fetus is ready to be born. Now, this is how the process of development of the embryo takes place. This is how a baby is born. Like it develops in the embryo, and then it gets its nourishment from the placenta. By 8 weeks, the zygote goes under multiple divisions and forms the body organs such as hand, legs, eyes, and at this stage, we can start calling the embryo as fetus. It is called as fetus. And by the 16th week, all the body organs are formed and the mother can start feeling the kicks of the baby inside the body. And after 36 weeks of development, in 36 weeks, the complete fetus is well developed and is ready to be born. This is how the development of embryo takes place in human beings. So that was about the fertilization or sexual reproduction in human beings, children. Children, nowadays we do see that there are in TV or in the newspaper we do see these ads. That is regarding IVF or test tube babies. Have you all heard about this term, test tube babies or IVF? IVF here stands for in vitro fertilization. And as the name suggests, test tube babies, do you think the babies are produced in the test tube? No, actually that's not the case. The babies are not produced in the test tubes. That's just a name that has been given to this process. In the IVF process, now why does IVF happens? Because we already have a process of fertilization, But what happens, children? There are some problems with the reproductive organs with the females and the females or the males, that they could not be able to conceive, or the fertilization does not takes properly. So in those cases, the fertilization of the egg and the sperm is done artificially. So in such cases, the technique of in vitro fertilization is used. In this technique, fertilization is done in vitro, that is in glass test tube or glass dish. What happens is actually the male parent's sperms is taken and the female parent's eggs are collected. Then they are kept together for few hours in a glass dish so that the fertilization takes place. And in case fertilization takes place, the zygote is allowed to develop for about a week, and then it is introduced into the woman's uterus for further development. So what happens here? We have done the fertilization artificially outside the body of the female, and once the zygote is formed, it is introduced into the female uterus. This is how the IVF takes place. But the fertilization, we are not really sure if the zygote so formed will result in the fetus. So it is not always a surety that the IVF would be a successful, or it will give successful result. So what happen in IVF is sperm is taken from the male parent and the egg of the female parent is taken. They are left into a glass dish so that fertilization can take place, providing similar kind of conditions. Yeah, so in case the fertilization takes place, the zygote is then artificially introduced into the uterus of the woman for further development of the embryo. The babies born through the techniques of in vitro fertilization are called as test tube babies. Now that is what is IVF or test tube babies. So children, go through the chapter thoroughly. This is a very short topic that I have taught to you all. These are all new terms for you, so please read thoroughly the textbook. For any queries, you can always WhatsApp me, or we also have now our Zoom classes. You can clarify your doubts in the Zoom class as well. The PDF is being sent for the textbook. Those who don't have the textbook, they can read through the PDF. Also, I'm sending the question answers that you can do in your science classwork notebook, children. So I hope you all enjoy e-learning and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.